Really incredible that that was essentially your first day, but the series really shows just how painstaking this was for Ellen's parents, Josh and Sandy, and just how much they are advocating for their daughter when it seemed like a lot of those 14 years, they were almost screaming into the void. Because when you hear this story, everyone's alarm bells go up, but it seemed like nothing was getting done, and now all of a sudden, like you said, things are happening. But I'm curious to understand the process of how this all came together, because one of the most frustrating parts was that it seems like there's a lack of evidence, right? Because it was the police treated the scene like a suicide, so it was cleaned up by crime scene cleaners, and nothing, it didn't seem like, or not that much was preserved from that. I mean, knowing that, how did you piece together this documentary then with the limited evidence that was available?
Yeah, I mean, it's really tricky that those things happen. So it's important to even name what happened, right? Within the first 48 hours, you are supposed to hold a scene. If you have enough questions that you're not sure, homicide, accidental, suicide, hold the scene as if it's a homicide, right? Like protect it. So the first thing that we can always do is lay out what happened in detail and what didn't happen. So those big gaps also tell a story. You're like, wow, there wasn't a held scene. Her technology was taken off the scene. Uh, could that have been tampered with? We don't know, but we certainly know it was removed and returned. We did have a few eyewitnesses who made statements to law enforcement, and we were able to talk to them in person, like the building manager, the concierge at the front desk, and a neighbor. So we were able to like get people who were there that night and would walk the halls and see Ellen. And the concierge, Phil, is important to the story because he's the kind of doorman who would see Ellen every day. He's not like a good friend, but it's the person that sees Ellen every day when she comes in and comes and goes, and kind of knew her excitement about the wedding. For him, it's like, how on earth could that have been a suicide? So hearing those eyewitness statements from those folks, looking at some police statements, not a lot. Then you have the 911 call, which is really, gripping and salient. And so you can really listen to it and hear it. Understanding, we actually go back to the Venislov's apartment, which is later on in the series. So really getting to sort of move around in that space, you get a sense of, where's the elevator in relation to the door, what phone calls are being made, how far away is Ellen when she's found from the door? Could it have been clear that there was a knife in her? There's all this stuff that the series goes into that's really bolstered by getting to be in the apartment with experts. That was like really important for us. So, I mean, look, I think our job in making the show is to lay out the facts and really make clear that a suicide is not the answer. That's not what happened here. We don't have definitive answers because a lot was removed or cleaned up, or 14 years later, but I think we are able to point to huge flaws in the investigation that show suicide makes no sense here.